What is up, Kilo Crew, and welcome to today's video. Today I am back in my mess of an apartment in Spokane, Washington. We got Randy behind me getting some work done, and I am about to go fix some breakfast, get this mess of a mop of hair did at the salon, and I will catch you guys probably back on this comfy couch for the rest of episode 3 of Cuttin' Kilos. See you guys in just a bit. And we are back on the couch in the same exact spot as promised. I had thought about doing a little bit of fancy B-roll and taking some footage of me whipping up breakfast and getting my hair did, but kind of forgot. I'm kind of new to this whole vlogging thing, so I apologize. But anyways, to the point of the video, I first want to start by saying that today is actually the 2-year anniversary of my bodybuilding show. And if you guys know my past, you guys know that the bodybuilding show I did in 2019 was actually the whole driving force behind me starting Katina Eats Kilos. So that is actually pretty cool. It is April 13th, 2021 right now, and April 13th, 2019, your girl had a faux hawk and was stepping on stage. So here, I'll throw in some B-roll. Go ahead and take a look at me in 2019.
I need that heat that I won't forget. Come on, make me sweat. Jalapeno, jalapeno. I like it hot, but we ain't there yet. Come on, let me get jalapeno, jalapeno.
It kind of seems like just yesterday that all of that went down. It's been a long journey. When I got off that stage, and you guys know this from watching my past videos where I've sat down and discussed this, I felt really small next to those girls, and I wanted to put on weight, had some goals to chase, and I'd been watching food challenges online, watching YouTubers eat crazy amounts of food, and I wanted to do it myself. Picked up a camera and hit up a restaurant challenge like a week later and won. I went to Fat Burger, I believe, and I think that anniversary will be coming up during the next episode of Cuttin' Kilos. Will be my 2-year YouTubing anniversary, so it's all coming up pretty quick. But in those 2 years, I feel like I have definitely put on a lot of muscle during this whole, we'll call it a dream bulk, a dirty bulk, what have you, and I'm pretty excited, as I've mentioned in the past videos, to finally kind of carve away at that hard-earned muscle and work and kind of reveal what I've put on and built over the last 2 years. So getting my diet back straight, getting back on track. So that's pretty exciting that today happens to be the 2-year anniversary. It's a random Tuesday, and that's kind of cool that it just correlated that way on a day where I'm checking in with you guys. So very fun. But to the main overall point of this video, you guys are probably dying to know, Katina, how much weight have you lost since last week when you were in St. Louis eating all sorts of crazy junk, doing crazy things? You made great progress even doing that. So you're probably thinking, oh, you must have made great progress this past week now that you are at home dieting, back in the gym. Well, the scale doesn't say so. I actually stepped on the scale this morning, and this was before I checked in with you guys before getting my hair did and eating breakfast. Stepped on the scale this morning, I was 135.2 pounds. So instead of panicking about that, I know that that number on the scale is not a true representation about the whole story of what has happened this past week. So even though I'm up 3.2 pounds from my weigh-in in St. Louis, I have some reasonings for why I'm not really concerned that the scale went up instead of going down or staying the same. Reason number 1, and I won't go into it too deeply, is that I started re-supplementing with creatine monohydrate. Now that's a really well-studied sports supplement. Along with caffeine, it's the most studied sports supplement in the world, actually. Anyways, basically it just helps store glycogen in your muscles, and it can also draw in water or cause water retention. So I know I've put on roughly probably 4 to 5 pounds of water weight just from that alone. In addition to that, I'm also eating more, and we'll put air quotes around it, healthy foods than I was in St. Louis, where I was on pretty much an all liquid diet of beer for those naughty calories that I was getting in. So I'm eating a lot of big bulky salads and lots of bulky vegetables, so there's a lot more actual food weight and food volume sitting in my stomach as well. So I know that there may be a pound or so to account for there. In addition, I am finally working out and in the gym again, And so my muscles being sore are also going to pull in a little bit of water due to the added stress, etc. So absolutely zero to worry about with the scale actually going up. And I think that that's a really great lesson for y'all, and not paying attention to necessarily just the scale to determine your progress. If I was focused solely on the scale, it would be so easy to just give up and really panic about the whole situation. What am I doing wrong? Do I need to cut more food out of my diet? What's happening? So what I'm gonna do to go ahead and illustrate the point is, just like the past weeks, I'm gonna go ahead and have my picture from last week in St. Louis pop up, and my one from this week, this morning, actually pop up as well. Now you can see that even though my weight has gone up on the scale, my fat loss has clearly kicked up as well. So you can see in this new photo this morning that my stomach's a little tighter. There's a little bit less muffin top happening over these very revealing shorts that I'm wearing from Duluth Trading Company. Small like a plug for them. I think they might actually be underwear. I don't know, I'm so sorry. But you can see that I've definitely tightened up, and I feel like you can definitely see it in my face as well. So there's a good lesson to learn there, and that the scale doesn't always tell you the whole truth. You should probably use some other methods to gather data for yourself, or else it can be pretty disheartening. If we do the math and think about the fact that I could have put on roughly 4 to 5 pounds of just water weight from the combination of creatine monohydrate, maybe some food bulk as well, and then just some added stress from working out, it's possible that in reality I probably lost a pound or 2 of fat tissue, which is really exciting. I know from my past experience that I am in enough of a calorie deficit that it would be physiologically impossible for me to not lose fat or even gain fat. So definitely take those things into consideration. I always recommend taking some progress photos throughout your journey and using clothes as kind of an identifier of fat loss progress. Fat loss doesn't necessarily equate to weight loss. They aren't always the same. Fat loss doesn't necessarily equate to weight loss. They aren't always the same. So from here on out, I think that this kind of 135.2 that I weighed in at this morning will more so be my true starting point, as I was taking creatine before I left on tour and before the craziness of the holidays and such began. So I think that in reality, I probably put on a bit more fat and water weight than I was originally anticipating, but I kind of expected that due to the changes in physique. If we were looking at purely the scale, between my summer weight last year and my scale weight last week, that would have only been a 7-pound scale weight difference. And I definitely was looking and feeling a lot more hefty and a little bit fluffier than that. So it explains quite a bit in how much water I'd probably lost from my muscles and how much I was probably just holding in, and an actual increase in fat tissue. So I understand that this this video didn't have too much talking about diet necessarily. I plan on tackling that in probably next week's video. This week's video I had intended to actually do a full day of eating with you guys, but after this morning's weigh-in and having the weight jump up, I did want to go ahead and address this issue. I think it's a pretty common theme when people are trying to lose fat, that they do focus too much on the scale and get discouraged. And especially for females out there, there's a lot of factors that can affect that, including time of the month. So we won't dive into that too much. You guys are aware of all that, and that's easily look upable or University of Googleable. So definitely think of those things, keep those factors in mind. But I am really looking forward to showing you guys a full day of eating going into next week. We'll see how that flows. I hope you guys are enjoying this, finding this very informational. I would like to do a workout video with you guys detailing my workouts and my progress in the gym. I have been feeling very strong in the gym, even though my calories have been relatively low. I'm not doing anything crazy, anything that's out of the ordinary. So you guys will have to stay tuned for next week's full day of eating episode to see kind of how I'm managing my diet and managing hunger levels during this phase. So I hope you guys found this all very informative. As always, please leave comments, feedback down below. I am looking forward to this whole process with you guys, chatting with you guys and making this more of like a one-on-one sit-down experience. Just kind of reflecting again on today being the anniversary of a bodybuilding show. I do kind of have the itch to get back into it. I don't think, actually I know it won't happen anytime this year, but there's a possibility that in 2022 you might see your homegirl with a fake tan and maybe a rhinestone shiny bikini in 2022. So we'll kind of see what happens. I'm not gonna promise anything, but I'm also not gonna leave anything off the table either. So again, that's plenty of talking. I've been borderline closing this video out like 10 times already. So until the next video, hope you guys are doing well and we will catch you in the next one. Okay, peace out, bye.